Why, hello there to everybody who decided to click on this video. It is I, your boy, H-Boy. And today I'm going to be doing another one of them movie review videos, because I haven't done one since I talked about those Pixar movies. And today I'm going to be talking about the Barbie movie, because I saw it a few days back. And I know, I'm a guy and I watched the Barbies movie. That makes me a beta. But let me tell you, who cares? I'm a beta, so what? Doesn't affect me, doesn't affect my street cred. I hope it doesn't. That's that. Doesn't affect anything else, so who cares? So, what is the Barbie movie? I'll tell you. It's this movie that's been talking about, they're calling it a feminist movie about a freaking doll. It's a movie about a doll. However, what's interesting, it's another one of those someone living in a very specific world goes into the real world movies. Kind of like, I don't know if you've seen, it's like the Bee movie, going from the hive to the real world. What are the going into the real world movies were there? Enchanted, Hop, sort of, the Smurfs, and another Paddington. No, actually, Paddington he was already in the real world, but one with down he was going with the humans, and then we get my. It's one of those going into the real world movies. However, well, most of them are lighthearted comedies. This one started to get a tiny bit political, because here's the thing. When I went to the movie, I knew there would be a couple of feminism things, but there was like a whole subplot of Ken, played by Ryan Gosling, who is, in my opinion, wasn't the best Ryan. They should have picked Ryan Reynolds or one of those kooky, handsome guys like Ryan Reynolds or Ken Jeong or one of them was Simu Liu, which is another one of those kooky, handsome guys. And then what other kooky, handsome guys are there? We got Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, John Cena, he's not handsome, so I wouldn't say that. And then what other kooky, handsome guys are there? Keanu Reeves, sort of. Jerry Trainer. Jerry Trainer's too old now, but in his teens, maybe. No, not Jet Black. Jet Black would be a terrible choice. But you get my point. So there's this one scene where, spoilers alert, just warning you, he goes down into the real world where he discovers patriarchy, which in reality is just a bunch of manly stuff like cowboys, horses, beer, and going to the gym and whatnot. Which consider the fact that the joke was he lives in a very feminine world, because Barbie's all like girl power and crap. So the thing about that is the girl power. So basically they tried to make it a guy just discovering girl power. And the thing is, they try to make him out as a villain for that, which patriarchy could be considered villainous, but the thing is, the fact that they made patriarchy turn into a comical villain was just dumb, in my opinion. Very dumb. Okay, there was that, and then what other problems were there? Another problem is there was not one, not two, but three plots that were wasted. The first plot that was wasted, in my opinion, was the villain plot. Because there's one scene where they go to the Mattel, and then there's the CEO who starts chasing after them. And the CEO is played by Will Ferrell, and when Will Ferrell plays a villain, things are going to be good. Like the Lego Movie, Curious George. Then there was Austin Powers, but that was more the accomplice to a villain, so that doesn't really count, but you get my point. Will Ferrell does good villains. Anyway, the thing about that is there's one part where he tries to take the Barbie back to Barbie Land, but she escapes, and then they all start chasing him, and then you think he's going to be the major villain. But here's the thing. After the chase, again, spoilers, after the chase, they just drop him. He doesn't appear until the end of the movie to give some big emotional speech. And I think they should have had him chasing for the whole movie. Like, have the chasing of the Barbie be a subplot. But they didn't. They just dropped it. Because, chasing plots are good. Like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Good Boys, where Hannah was chasing the boys for a good 20 minutes of the movie. That's a good example of plot chasing. However, this one, they had it, but they didn't run with it. And I do not like that. They could have ran with it. They should have ran with it. But they didn't run with it. And then what else? Oh yeah, another plot is This one at the end of the movie after the big Ken fight. I don't know if you've seen the Ken fight. If you haven't seen the Ken fight, too bad for you. Because the joke was they were going to vote, all the Kens were going to vote to turn Barbie Land to Kendom. But the Barbies plot them against each other to distract them while they go vote. However, what they should have done is, they should have one more conflict, because at the end, the Kens are like, when are we supposed to vote today? And then it cuts to the Barbies all voting and trying to get it back. And then that's all that. However, they should have done is had one more conflict, rather than barge in and then try to vote, and then they couldn't because they all had to vote against each other, and then the Barbies ended up winning. That's how it should have ended, in my opinion. I think that's all I have to say about it. Sorry I couldn't do a full 10-minute video, but I just want to say it was a pretty good movie. Oh, it had some. I will say that there's some pretty funny parts. There's one part where I don't know if you've seen on either Nickelodeon or YTV. They have those Barbie ads, those traditional Barbie "I Can Be Anything" ads. There was one part where it affected, and it was the depressed Barbie with ice cream and Pride and Prejudice. Because I remember I never watched that, but my mother loved that movie. She's not depressed though, but it's still funny. I don't even know what Pride and Prejudice and depression has anything to do with any connections. But other than that, it was kind of funny. Another thing that I thought was funny was every time they swore, they put the word Mattel over their mouth. I'm assuming in kind of middle finger to it. And then what else? What other scenes were funny? And then there was a John Cena cameo, which was hilarious. And then there was a what else? What other scenes were funny? I think the few CEO scenes were funny, and the scene where they thought Barbie was a fascist was pretty hilarious. And then there was also the crime scene, but I don't know what to say about that. But other than that, it was a pretty good. So, if I'd say the Barbie movie was pretty good. I expected it just to be another one of those basic character in the real world kind of adaptation movies, but they decided to get all political. It was a little too political for me, but other than that, it was a decent movie. So that was your boy H-Boy talking about the Barbie movie, and I will see you next time.